Hi everyone, and welcome back to Within a Budget, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Paula, and today I'm going to show you our meals of the week. I don't know if you caught my previous video which had my grocery haul and my meal plan, because I'm doing the £25 a week sort of pantry freezer challenge just to try and use up some of the things that we have in our house. So if you did, you will already know what's on the menu this week, but I'm going to show you anyway. So on Monday, we had corned beef potato pie. This was actually really easy to throw together. My family, if you've been here before, don't hugely love mashed potato, and I do have to do it a little bit wetter for them just so that they tolerate it a bit better. But I say they will have it every so often, which is really great because I actually really like these types of meals. On Tuesday, we had the chicken, broccoli, and Stilton pasta bake, and I actually filmed quite a bit whilst I was cooking, so I thought I'd actually put it together for you to break down the recipe like I used to do before Christmas time and everything got a little bit crazy. So now that things are settled down, I wanted to show you a bit more in depth as to what we did. So we put the pasta on to boil, and then I heated some milk. I say any measurements, if anybody wants any measurements, please ask in the comments and I'll always add them. That got mixed with some corn flour, and then you just kind of whisk it until it starts to thicken. And then we added whatever leftover Stilton that we had from our Christmas selection box. I say we're not great lovers of Stilton, so if I could find a recipe for it to go in, that was great. Whilst the pasta was cooking, I say it was very close to being done, so for the last 5 minutes I needed to put the broccoli in to cook with it, just to make sure that it had sort of softened up. And as you've got the water there boiling anyway, you may as well put it all in together rather than getting two pans going on the top. So then I went back to my sauce and carried on whisking until all of that cheese had sort of dissolved and melted into the sauce. But because there wasn't a huge amount of Stilton, I added some cheddar cheese to it as well, just to make sure that it was a cheesy sauce. At this point, I would season. I say we don't actually add a huge amount into ours, like the salt and pepper, because most people add more to at the table if they wanted any more. So yeah, I try not to put too much in whilst actually cooking, but I say it does need a little bit sometimes. Then I put the chicken in, and I actually used some forks just to sort of shred it up a little bit, because I think these were bigger chunks than what I actually wanted in the recipe. So once that had all cooked together, I say the pasta was all done, the broccoli was done, I drained it off and put it into a baking pan and poured the sauce and the chicken all over the top of it. I gave it a good mix, trying to make sure that all of the pasta was completely coated with the sauce, because this now has to go into the oven. And I do find that if pasta is dry in the oven, it's just going to burn. So just trying to make sure that everything is completely covered is what I would suggest. I say I'm also trying to move my broccoli around so it's fairly distributed throughout. And then I just sprinkled it with some more cheddar cheese. I say my family really like cheese, so they're kind of like the more the better. And that was it all kind of ready to go into the oven. It went back in for sort of 20 minutes, and it was just so that the cheese melted and it started to sort of crisp up on the top. But obviously you do need to keep an eye just in case it starts to burn on any of the pasta. But then we took this through to the table and we all sort of helped ourselves to what we wanted, but this was completely gone come the end of dinner, so it was really enjoyed that night. On Wednesday, we had a really simple chicken curry. This is the Mayflower curry powder that I've said about before, that you literally just mix it with water, and I say it's really nice. Our family really like it. We just put some mushrooms, peas. I know peas is a little controversial, not everybody seems to like them in a curry, but I say we really do. Sultanas and onions is all that we put in with ours. On Thursday, we had toad in the hole. This came out really tasty. We just had it with some simple vegetables and gravy, and my family really enjoyed this. The only thing that I will say is that I do find that when I cook this, it looks great to start with once it first comes out the oven, and then give it a few minutes and it sort of sinks in the middle. If anyone has any tips for me as to what I'm actually doing that's making it sink, please let me know down in the comments, because I'd love to fix this because it's a great meal. On Friday, I very nearly forgot to film tonight, so this is all the snippet that you kind of got. My husband had gone on and had his curry whilst I was out collecting my daughter from the party that she went to. And I just came back and I heated up this spaghetti bolognese it was that we had cooked previously. It's been in the freezer, the cheese was already on there, so I say I'm just going to microwave this for tea. On Saturday night, we just had Italian meatballs and spaghetti. It is quite an ingredient heavy recipe, this one. So you've just kind of got to get your hands in and mix it all together, which does feel a little bit gross in the moment. Yeah, just make up your different size balls and fry them. And then I just used a simple Tesco's chunky vegetable sauce just for ease tonight to go with it. And then just served it on some spaghetti. And then finally on Sunday we had roast beef. I don't know how well you can see this in the video, but I was really pleased with how the beef came out this time, because I always tend to overcook it, but it was still really pink inside, and yeah, it was just really nice to eat. There was one line going through the meat that was like a bit gristly, which we had to cut out, but I say that's down to the cut of meat. I say there's not really a lot that you can do about that. So we used up some of the veg that we still had in the fridge. This is the last of the Christmas sprouts, and I can't believe that they were still okay, to be fair. So I just felt like I had to use them. I had some red cabbage that I'd previously cooked and frozen, so that's where that's come from. But yeah, this was our Sunday roast dinner. I hope you've enjoyed this, and maybe it will give you some ideas, and hopefully I'll see you again. Take care. Bye.